Hi, I'm Michael Franklin. I'm a current student at Texas A&M University under the guidance of Professor Elizabeth Bailey. The title of our course is The Foundations of Organizational Leadership. I'm a retired Air Defense Artillery Command Sergeant Major, and today I'm going to present some of my personal views on leadership. I've seen a lot of not so good and sometimes very good leaders in my career. The commonality in the art of leadership is that all leaders have someone who follows them. In my early days, leaders were considered to be authoritarian or democratic, but there are all kinds of people to make a world. So therefore, you should have different styles of leadership to guide them to success. I'll briefly review some of the leaders who impacted my life in different phases of my career. My first leaders were drill sergeants. They were purely authoritarian, did not care about your personal views. They demonstrated a task, had you perform the task and practice it. Then they graded you, and if you did well, good. If you didn't do well, they retrained you. No nonsense, no questions. Their vision was to protect America at all costs. Now, those drill sergeants didn't teach you why. An inherent difference in leadership and training is why. When you teach a person why, they grow to be leaders. All good leaders, be they educators, aircraft mechanics, military members, or healthcare providers, must master the rules of the road for their particular organization. One fantastic leader told me, if you're not producing followers that can replace you, you're not a real leader. He also had a term, practice, practice, practice. Perfect practice makes perfect. I love that enthusiasm, and I thought he was great. I saw leaders who modified true behavior just by showing care for the person's family, and that had a great impact on me. I once saw a command sergeant major giving a lecture on the walk. Stop, pick up a small piece of paper that we didn't see blow by, put it in his pocket, never broke his conversation, and always said that if there were no followers, we wouldn't need leaders. This guy later became the Sergeant Major of the Army, which is only one at active duty at any time. I celebrated his success. He was great. Probably the worst example of leadership that I witnessed was a guy stood out in front of us with pamphlets from his part-time job. They nicknamed him that service guy. And so when he was relieved of his responsibilities and lost some stripes and put out of our unit, I was extremely thankful. This course validates years of watching and evaluating my duties and others in leadership. Studying here at Texas A&M shows that my style of leadership mirrors a tendency to use task performance and behavioral leadership in a developmental manner. I like teaching others to pass on what they've learned because it makes for a winning condition for everybody involved. My textbook calls it transformational leadership. In my leadership style today, I use relationship behavior theory and require my cadets to buy into their own personal growth. I encourage them, praise them, and have them practice for job requirements. I rotate them into positions of increased responsibility so that they gain experience. I counsel them. I want to see their personal goals. I want to give them advice on how to reach them. I provide team building exercises for them. And if they need it, then I assist them. How to discourage negative group members. That behavior. I do strive for them to articulate the core tenets of the JROTC program from top to bottom. Leaders should always remember where they came from. Followers will tell the stories of the leaders. My students describe me as a square father figure and a professional leader. They return often and retell lessons learned that carry them through life. Scholarship recipients and past students in each branch of the military, including the Coast Guard, have thanked me more often than not for teaching the group dynamics that we call control. The control stage in my textbook here at the university is called storming. If I met my ideal leader, they'd be bilingual and possess all the characteristics of a teacher, coach, and mentor, dedicated to the accomplishment of the mission and versed in the sociology to meet the individual members' needs of everybody they led. Ideally, I must achieve more sociological understanding as the world changes. I want to speak the language of today so that I can lead the followers of today. Interests change, but the true tenets of leadership generally change in terminology. I must remain culturally aware of the details if I want to be relevant. I've been exceedingly fortunate in my 2 careers. This course requires that you tell your story, and I think all leaders should gauge their achievement on the effectiveness of their mentees. My question will always be the same. Who did you lead, and what did they do? Thank you.